Hello everyone and welcome to another monthly recap. We're joined in studio by Jackson. It is the depths of winter and we've got you down here at SwiftFox HQ in Melbourne for a bit of a chilly winter.
Yeah, I brought extra layers.
You bought extra layers. We've got new layers too that we're seeing, nice new threads, although I'm not sure about the hoodie over the shirt, but that's okay. I'm not going to give you fashion advice. Let's get into the month that has been in SwiftFox. Last time we caught up was at the AI conference and we were talking all things AI. Let's focus on the nuts and bolts though of SwiftFox. Let's just leave AI for one moment because there's been an awful lot of stuff that we've pushed out over the course of the last month. Headlined really by, or the theme through a lot of it has been communications, particularly email. Jackson, we send out millions of emails a month. It is one of the most important features for all of our users and customers, and there's been a massive overhaul of both the usability and the functionality of it over the last month.
It's crazy when we look at the number of emails that get sent out of SwiftFox every single day, and what we've been able to do is some incredible UI improvements on the email system to make it even better. So during June, we've been able to create this whole new capability to edit all of your templates and view them in a new template library, something that really wasn't that easy to do in the past, if at all.
So email templates, they're now editable. There's now a library for your templates. This has been heavily requested. I think we had about 4 or 5 requests on the roadmap for email template folders, like the ability to have a library there. We have also had the big user interface changes, so the look and feel of emails much more intuitive, much more in line with the SwiftFox brand. And the rich text block, so you can now do borders, shadows, a bunch of other things on the rich text block in the emails itself. And of course, we've touched on in the past, but undo, redo. So it really has been a big suite of enhancements and improvements to emails. A few more cool stuff on the way. Not just emails though, in terms of communications features, calls. Users will notice a massive difference to calls, which is getting a significant uplift in usage too.
Yeah, some great UI improvements in the call screen, making it a lot more usable to visualize where all the different options are, making sure that the action buttons quickly allocate the right status to people as you're calling them, and just making sure that it's easy to add tasks, add people to an event, all the things you want to do right from there, that screen.
We'll just touch there on the user interface changes because we've seen them in emails, we've seen them in calls. It's a really good example of how we're always listening to your feedback as to how we can help you reduce clicks and make it more intuitive as to where you should be navigating around. So both in calls and emails, those changes you've seen have come directly from our users telling us that we want to make this bit simpler or this bit easier to understand. Contacts. There's been some great stuff in contacts. We probably haven't highlighted just all of the work that we've been doing in contacts over the course of the last month, but I want to start with custom fields and tags.
Yeah.
So explain we all know what custom fields are, but tags now being in custom fields.
Absolutely. One of the long things that we've had in custom fields is a select option. So I can, have a bunch of different options on my custom field, and then I can set one of those options on a contact. But if I ever want to add a new option, I need to hop into settings, go to custom fields and add that option. Well, now we've created a dedicated tags custom field that will let you create options on the fly. This is really handy for a lot of our customers who have different use cases for creating new options. But the best part about it is not only will this custom field appear on people and organizations, it also works on posts. This is incredibly useful because you could create a post and you can create a new tag. If that tag doesn't exist, you can create it on the fly. The other great news for some of our customers who rely heavily on circles, all those tags are circle specific.
And for those of us that sometimes type really fast on the fly and make a whole bunch of spelling mistakes and everything else, one of the downsides of tags being able to create on the fly often is that people can spell things wrong and it's very hard to edit them. Full editability, so you can go in and fix spelling mistakes in your tags. You can delete tags if there's a whole bunch of them. You can search for the tags in the list builder, so all of that functionality exists as well. It really is a significant enhancement. Again, customer feedback, put on the roadmap and delivered. The other thing that we constantly get feedback on is above the custom field section, you've got your profile section. And that has a bunch of default fields in there that previously weren't editable. If you wanted to change them, you had to get in touch with our support team. You've changed that.
Absolutely. So for a long time, we've had the ability to hide some of those fields, but it was something that we had to do on the back end, and it would always require a support request, and it wasn't even easy to do that. Well, now there is a UI setting in the settings area where you'll be able to control exactly what fields appear. So if your organization organization doesn't use the middle name field, you can hide that from the profile. If you don't use the jurisdiction field or the industry field on an organization, you can hide those fields as well.
Contact restrictions, sticking with contacts. Contact restrictions, we released that last month. We have spent a little bit of time talking about it. One of the things that's emerged since we released the contact restrictions is that there has been some confusion around the difference between contact preferences, so someone wanting to unsubscribe from emails and your text messages and things like that, and what contact restrictions are. Can you just explain the difference between the two?
So a contact preference is on an individual email address or mobile number, and it describes what they are preferenced to receive or not receive. So for an email address, they might be subscribed to various different email categories, and so as you send out an email, that email address can or can't receive that category.
So that's contact preferences. What's contact restrictions?
Restrictions sit above all of that, and they are specific to the record, the person or the organization. So if you don't want any emails sent to that record, you change their contact restriction to be no emails. And you can do that for text messages, for direct mail, for emails. It's above the preferences that the person controls, and is allowing you to set it from an organization perspective.
And on one of those things, you can also set time limits on those restrictions as well. So I don't contact this person for email for X period of time. We have, though, heard your feedback about that confusion, and we are looking to make it easier to be able to also see your contact preferences in the contact restrictions section. So I know I'm saying contact a lot, but in that contact restrictions section, we'll also have the preferences there, so you can clearly see if someone did unsubscribe. No, it did happen. It is there, even if it might not show up in restrictions, because that's a different part of the system. But we are just working on some UI enhancements and changes there. Let's park contacts. So we've had comms, we've had contacts. Finance, obviously another, we've got millions of dollars coming through the platform every month. It's a really important feature for our users. A few have been asking for direct debit, for Stripe direct debit. That's been released. So that functionality is available for any of you. Many of our customers are on Stripe. Any that now want to have direct debit, that's available. Financial summary fields. These are, again, much loved by those that use them, but a little bit hidden away. Just remind everybody about financial summary fields that we have.
When you go to the Finance tab on a contact, you can easily see how much money was paid during a financial year. But some of our customers have some unique reporting requirements, and so they want to be able to see how many receipts were processed in a specific period, maybe matching a specific criteria. Well, that's what the financial summary fields are all about, being able to create your own custom criteria of what receipts you care about, and being able to see how many receipts and what was the value of those receipts in that period matching your criteria.
Now we've included adjustments. So do you want to just quickly touch on what they now include?
So by default, the financial summary field would exclude adjustments.
And so what is an adjustment? Remind us.
So an adjustment would be something that you as an admin are putting on someone's profile. Maybe you're processing a refund, maybe a partial payment. You're doing something on their behalf to adjust their payments.
So that is now going to be also available in these summary fields.
By default, we were excluding adjustments. That was the feedback we received at the beginning, and that was the default behavior. But you'll now have the option to include adjustments. So when you're creating a new financial summary field or editing an existing one, there'll be a new checkbox to include adjustments as part of the calculation.
Let's stick with finance, the receipt action centers. It's for some of our users, it's the first and last thing they check every day. The receipt action center will now include invoice details. That'll be exportable, and there'll be columns that will show the invoice details that they're attached to.
Yeah, the new finance changes that moved a lot of the subscription things into invoices has meant that the receipts sort of didn't show as much detail as they used to. So the Receipts Action Center has now been upgraded to show the invoice-related data to each receipt.
I think we're running out of time. We've got a huge amount of other stuff to get through, but I think we're getting the wind up. I want to briefly touch on automations, the @today automation that's come in there now.
Yeah. So we received quite a number of suggestions through the roadmap submission form about creating automations with some of our @today logic. So many of you will know that you can go to List Builder and you could create a list of receipts @today minus 30 days. You'll now be able to do some very similar things in automations. So you could create an automation that when someone fills in a form, automatically a task is created due in 7 days' time.
All right, that's the month that's been. Let's just put a full stop on that and talk about the months that are going to be in front of us, because we've ticked over into a new financial year. We've got halfway through the year, so instead of just looking at what we're going to be doing for the next month, Keen to really share the focus of the next 6 months. There will be our usual sprinkling of work across all of our features, but there's 2 particular features that we're going to be putting a lot of work into over the next 6 months, more enhancements, and they are both events and finance. So firstly on events, conferences, there's a lot of work going into conference management and making SwiftFox events be far more intuitive and easy to use and enhanced functionality for conference management, which has been some great feedback we've had coming in. And then on finance, there's a bit we're interested in doing in finance too.
Yeah, so a number of our customers coming on board at the moment are needing to send some outgoing payments and some of our existing ones as well. So adding support for that and just making sure that our finance system, continues to tick along and can support all the things it needs to.
And also organisational membership. So we've been getting some great feedback from our customers who are organisations and have members attached to them, which is separate to our customers who might be unions and have individuals attached to them. Some really good suggestions as to how we can further boost support for organisation membership. So that'll be a focus too of the next 6 months. So plenty on. I think AI is going to be a big focus of our next one. We've got some really exciting stuff in the AI space as well that we want to share. So in a nutshell, there's a huge amount that we're doing. So keep an eye on your inbox for all of the enhancements that we're sending, and keep an eye on the masterclasses. You've got a lot to learn because we've got a lot that we're putting out there. Jackson, you taking any time off? It's middle of the year.
Who's got time for time off?
We certainly don't. There's too much happening. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll catch you for next month's recap.